The Bible records in Psalms 19, verses 12 and 13. Who can understand the errors of his ways? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent of that great transgression. David starts off by saying, who can understand the errors of his ways? But then he says, cleanse me from secret faults. See, David was saying, it's not enough that God, that you take away the stuff that I know about. I need you to take those deep, dark, lurking things in my life that I don't know that's there. I need you to remove those things out of my life. See, brothers and sisters, if our desire is to make it into the kingdom, we can't keep on half-stepping with God. Verse 13 says, keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Those sins that we become so used to, so accustomed to. We know they're wrong, but God's a merciful God. Those are the presumptuous sins that we keep on doing over and over again, that we do them so much that they don't even seem like sin in our minds anymore. But he says, keep me even from those type of things. Presumption is going to have a lot of us going straight to hell because we know it's wrong. But see, God's a merciful God in our mind, and he's going to forgive us. He's going to have compassion. He knows it's our struggle. But sometimes we call a struggle, and we don't even struggle. We just actually go and do it. We don't fight. A struggle don't always mean you lose. A struggle means it's a battle. Some of us are not even battling. Some of us sit here and say, well, God's not through with me yet. And the truth is, God is not through with any of us yet. But that is no excuse for us to keep on falling in the same ruts over and over again. And I understand strongholds in our lives, and I'm not talking about those type of things, but we got to begin to battle. We can't just live haphazardly and just keep on doing the stuff that we think like, everybody else is doing it. God is calling us to a different plane. But see, to me, when I look at our world, what's destroying the image of God is many professed Christians. I mean, the world knows what a Christian should be. That's why a lot of times when people of the world, they see you acting up and you doing something like, you're a Christian, you don't supposed to do that. The world knows. But yet, we sit here and keep fussing and acting like fools just like the world. God called us to be examples. He called us to be the heads and not the tails, but yet so many of us keep on following what the world is doing. We're following the ways of the enemy. I read in this book, Mere Discipleship, by a guy named Lee Camp. But one statement he said always stood out to me. He says the biggest threat to the Christian church is people professing to be Christians when they're really not. There are too many people who are professing to be Christians, but our lives are not showing the character of God. We're not even striving. We're not even trying. We just use the name Christianity as a blanket. But if we call ourselves Christians, old things are passed away. All things become new. When does this reality actually happen in our lives? In the book of Philippians, chapter 3, verses 13 and 14, the Bible reads and says this, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation, but it says, no, dear brothers and sisters, I am still not all I should be, but I am focusing all my energies on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. I strain to reach the end of the race and receive the prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling us to heaven. Paul says, I'm not all I should be, but putting those things from the past, I'm putting them behind me. I'm not looking at these things no more. So it don't matter. If you've been sleeping around with 100 people and you're ready to change your life, put it in the past. If you've been cussing and acting like a fool, and that's what everybody know you for, it's okay. Put it in the past. If you drink out of control and doing all these things that you know you shouldn't be doing, and everybody say, well, he always going to be like this, she always going to be like this, put in the past. Press forward towards the mark. It's time for us, brothers and sisters, to press forward towards the mark. This world is coming closer and closer to its end. Tomorrow's not promised. There's going to be somebody today who might hear this, who might not make it till tomorrow. And this is not trying to make you afraid, but the reality is life is fragile. We might not make it till tomorrow. Each day could be our last. We need to make choices for God today. So today, wherever you at, I just pray that you will allow God to come into your heart. And just like David says, who can understand the errors of his ways? Cleanse me, God, from even those secret faults. Remove those things that are not like you. Remove those things that are keeping that block between me and you. Remove those things, God. Help me. But also, Lord, that stuff that I've just become so accustomed to doing, those wrong traits, those bad habits that I know they're not godly, Lord, remove that presumption out of my heart. I want to make it into your kingdom. We can't keep playing this game with God. And the reason why so many people are losing hope with God, they're seeing people who they thought were standing with God live double lives, and it's drawing more and more people away. It's time for God's true people to stand up and be accounted for. No more playing games. Wherever you at today, know that God loves you. I love you as well. And I pray that we all make it to the kingdom. God bless.